Welcome to my channel and the Christmas tree mug rug. So here are all the blocks that I cut. And today we will be making a Christmas tree mug rug, which includes blocks that have the snowball block, quilt block. YouTube has lots of videos if you need to see an example of the snowball block and how it's made. It also involves using something similar to flying geese, but this pattern includes 3 different triangles. But really, personally, I feel like if you use them all the same size, it would still be just as cute. The pattern I found from the Crafty Quilter, and you can look at her pattern on her blog, which is thecraftyquilter.com. So thank you to the Crafty Quilter for sharing this pattern online. So I'm making a video so that my daughter can watch it. She's learning how to quilt, and we don't live in the same state, so I'm making these videos so she can watch them and watch me make them. All right, well, here we go. So here are the blocks that you will need. Number 1, you need 1 5-inch square for the snowball center. Here you need 4 2-inch squares for the snowball corners. Then you need 1 2-inch by 5-inch rectangle bottom. This is going to go on the bottom of the snowball. 3 tree pieces, 1, 2, 3. The first one is 2 inches by 3.5 inches. The second one is 2 inches by 4 inches. And the third one is 2 inches by 5 inches. Each one is a rectangular shape. Then we have the brown tree trunk. The tree trunk is 1.5 inches by 2 inches. The tree background pieces right here. Here you have 2 2-inch squares. Here you have 2 2-inch by 2 1/4 inch rectangles. Here you have 2-inch by 2 3/4 inch rectangles. And then here you have 2 2-inch by 2.5 rectangles. So here are all the pieces that you will need. One of the things I recommend before sewing your snowball, so I used a pretty poinsettia flower that I found on some of my fabric scraps, but it's kind of like wrinkly, so I do recommend that you iron it first before starting that part of the pattern. Alright, so here's the 5-inch square. In order to do the snowball, you take the little 2-inch squares, the 4 2-inch squares, and you put them on each corner. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then what you do is you're going to draw a line that you're going to sew on. And I'll take a little chalk here. So this is our sewing line. Sewing line. Sewing line. And sewing line. There you go. Once you sew the lines, then you remove the excess fabric. So once we fold this over, we don't really need the fabric behind it. So we're going to go ahead and cut away about 1/4 inch away from the seam line. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so there we go. And then once those extra pieces are cut off, you're going to go ahead and iron this down like this. That way it looks like a square again. All right, so here is my snowball block. And what I can do now that I have it, I can trim it up a little bit to clean it up. Here we go. Kind of line it up on the squares. There we go. Clean up that excess fabric so we have even lines. There we go. Now it looks a little bit more even. See? All right, next we sew on the rectangle block onto the bottom of the snowball block. And it's the 2" by 5" rectangle. So we're going to go ahead and, I don't know if I want it this way or this way. I think I want it this way. So we're going to put the right sides together, and then we're going to sew right here. Okay, so the rectangle is now sewn on. If you open it up and iron it down, it'll look like this. So here it is once it's all sewn together. Then here we are going to need some other pieces. All right, these pieces are for the top of the tree, the middle of the tree, and the bottom of the tree. And I lined them up next to each other so you could see which parts match up with which parts. So the blue is the background, and then the green is the front. So this part here is the top part of the tree. And then what you do is you line up the background, the blue fabric, to the front so the right sides are facing each other, and you're going to want to go ahead and draw a little triangle in the corner, and that will be your sewing side. And you will do the same thing on both sides. So on this one, I am just going to sew one side at a time, and then I'll do the second part, and then go ahead and do the middle part the same way. Draw your triangles so you know where your sewing line is for the top, the middle, and the bottom. So now I got all 3 pieces marked. And then we have the tree trunk, which is the brown piece. And for the tree trunk, you will sew one side at a time. Once you have the left side done, you do the right side, and then the brown piece will be in the middle, and the blue pieces are marked as the background. So here it is. Once you iron the background sides open, it'll look like this. You'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, and you can kind of see how they go together. And so what I do is I'm going to go ahead and sew the top to the second part, and then the bottom to the other part, making it 2 parts. Then you're going to take your 2 parts and sew those 2 parts together, making them perfectly aligned to the snowball block with the bottom. And then you can see what they look like side by side. Aren't they looking beautiful? So then once your tree block is completed, you can sew your tree block to your snowball block, making it a completed rectangle. Once you have your completed rectangle completed, I recommend adding batting on the back. I just used batting scraps, so I pinned them in place so that the batting scrap pieces wouldn't move around. And then what I'm going to do is just gently kind of outline the pictures like the snowball and the tree. All right, so how to put on the backing. So what you're going to do is just kind of put some fabric around it, like an inch around. That's a little bit bigger than the actual mug rug. There's many different ways to do backing, but this is, I guess, the fold over method. So what you're going to do is fold it over once or twice if you like. I don't know. Here we go. And then you're going to pin it in place. So here we go. Pin it in place. So whatever you do to the top, you're also going to do to the bottom. So here we go. Fold it in half again, and then roll it over. And then I'm going to pin it. Pin. Pin. And pin. And then for the other sides, you want to kind of fold it in on the corner like this. And then fold it in on this corner right here. And then you're going to fold it again, and then fold it over like this. So it kind of gives it mitered corners here. And then pin it down. Pin it down. And pin it down. Then we're going to do the same thing on this side. So fold it over on the sides. Fold it over on the sides. Fold. And fold again. Ooh. I should have maybe trimmed this down a little bit. Let me trim it. I have too much batting here. There you go. Let's do that again. So fold in the corners. Here we go. Fold it. Fold again, and then over the fabric, and then pin in place. So pin, pin, and pin. There we go. Now I'm just going to sew around the perimeter, maybe once or twice. So I ended up sewing around it twice to avoid batting gaps. Some of the batting was trying to show through, and I would probably recommend quilting it a little bit more than what I did. I felt like the fabric was a little loose, but this was my first try with this pattern, and I think it turned out pretty cute. So this is not my pattern. I found this Christmas tree mug rug from the Crafty Quilter, and you can find the pattern on thecraftyquilter.com, and she has step-by-step directions on her blog. I just made this video kind of as an additional helpful tool for anyone that might want to use it and watch and follow along, and maybe you can make your own improvements. Again, thank you for watching this video with me. Please subscribe to my channel for more fun videos to come. Again, thanks for visiting. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.